All right, so we've got this Stegosaurus is about leading through change.
Yeah.
It's like relevant for, well, everyone.
It really is. These days, change is the only constant.
It feels like it, yeah.
Yeah.
And not just like the latest iPhone, right?
Right.
Like big shifts.
Absolutely. It's those big life and work changes that really throw you off.
Exactly.
And what's so interesting here is that, we've got all these different angles. We've got psychology, we've got business strategy, we've even got philosophy.
Wow.
But they all kind of come back to this one idea.
Okay.
Change is a process. It's not just an event.
Okay.
Yeah.
So unpack that a little. Like, what does that actually mean? Change is a process.
So think about how much the world has changed.
Oh, yeah.
Just in the past few decades.
I know. It's crazy.
You remember dial-up?
Oh, yes.
So in Anatomy of a Breakthrough, Adam Elter says that a video that takes like 1 second to download now would have taken 11 hours.
What?
Back in 1999.
11 hours?
11 hours.
I can't even.
Yeah, and it's not slowing down.
Oh, no.
It's getting faster.
It is.
So the question isn't really if change is necessary.
Right.
It's how can we adapt? How can we thrive?
Within it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like we need to change our view of change.
Yeah.
From this thing, to be feared.
Totally.
To like a natural part of life, part of work.
Yeah, it's about becoming more okay with uncertainty.
Yeah.
And being okay with ambiguity.
I like that ambiguity.
Yeah, and also like getting the skills and the resilience like to deal with that choppiness.
Yeah, it's choppy out there.
It is.
Okay, so change, we've established, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
But why do so many like change initiatives fail?
So one reason is we try to force change.
Okay.
Just through willpower.
Yeah.
Like those New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
Gone by February.
The gym is empty.
Katie Milkman, in her book, How to Change, says that up to 80% of them bite the dust.
That's dismal.
Yeah, and it often comes down to we're trying to change too much.
Too much, too fast.
Too fast. Yeah. We set these huge goals.
Yeah.
And we try to power through.
Yeah, just grit.
Yeah.
Like B.F. Skinner waking himself up 4 times a night to work.
Oh, man, I know.
As Gloria Mark talks about in Attention Span.
Yeah.
That might work. For a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable.
Not at all.
We need to work smarter.
We do.
Not harder, right?
We need to understand change management.
Okay. So let's get into that.
Okay.
What is change management?
Okay, so simply put, change management is it's a way to transition, individuals, teams, organizations from where they are now, where they want to be.
So it's not just like announcing, hey, new initiative.
No.
Teams restructure.
It's more than that. It's about creating like a roadmap for lasting change.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so think about building a house.
Okay.
You don't just start like throwing bricks around.
No.
You got to have a blueprint.
Yeah.
You need a plan.
Yeah.
A team, right?
You got to have skilled builders
yes.
to make it happen.
That makes it so change management is like you need a vision.
Yes.
A plan to get there.
Yep.
The right people.
Absolutely.
Processes in place.
The processes are key.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where understanding those core elements of change management comes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are they?
So there are a lot of models out there.
Okay.
But one that I find particularly helpful is called the ADKAR model.
ADKAR, okay.
It stands for awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement.
Awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Break it down. What do they mean?
So awareness is all about understanding why are we changing? What are the benefits?
The why, not the what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then desire. People need to want to change.
Yeah, they got to be on board.
They got to see the benefit for themselves and how it lines up with their values.
It makes me think of all the like storytelling
that
comes up in a lot of the books.
Yeah.
Arthur Brooks' Love Your Enemies. He's big on that.
He is.
He's like a story so much more powerful than a statistic.
Absolutely. Yeah, stories can make it relatable. They make it meaningful.
It's that human connection.
Yeah, they help people connect emotionally.
Okay, so we got awareness, we got desire.
Yep.
Knowledge, ability, what are those?
So knowledge is about giving people the information they need to understand the change and their role in it. So what are the new processes? What skills are required?
Okay.
And ability is you're giving people the tools, the training to actually implement the change.
So it's not enough to tell them what to do.
Right.
You got to give them the support.
Exactly. You've got to equip them with the resources and the support to actually be successful.
Okay, and reinforcement.
And reinforcement. Yeah, this is about celebrating the successes, recognizing contributions, and just giving that ongoing support to make sure the change actually lasts.
It's creating that culture, right, of continuous learning.
Yes.
Improvement.
Yeah.
People feel valued.
Yeah.
They feel empowered.
Absolutely, where they can contribute their best.
Yeah.
And another really key part of change management is understanding why so many initiatives fail.
We touched on that earlier.
Yeah.
Willpower, but I'm sure there's more.
There's more, yeah. One common trap is like a lack of vision.
Okay.
Or like clear goals.
Yeah, if you don't know where you're going.
If people don't understand where they're going, it's tough to get them on board.
Any road, right.
Right.
Okay.
And then there's communication.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
So important.
Change can be scary. People need to know what's going on.
Keep them in the loop.
What's happening? Why is it happening?
Yeah.
What does it mean for me?
Transparency.
Transparency is huge.
Authenticity, right?
Yeah.
Like people can sniff out a phony
100%.
a mile away.
Yeah, and if they sense that the leader isn't being straight with them or they're not actually committed,
yeah,
they won't buy in.
Okay, so trust is key.
Trust is key.
Got it.
And that's where leading with values comes in.
Okay.
Jack Welch in Winning, he says, values are just behaviors. They need to be clear, they need to be actionable, and you need to see them in everything you do.
So not just talking the talk.
Yeah.
But walking the walk.
Exactly, especially when things are changing.
Yeah, yeah.
Another reason for failure, a big one, is not getting buy-in from the people who matter.
Makes sense.
The key stakeholders.
Yeah, they're not heard.
Yeah.
Their concerns aren't addressed.
They're going to back.
Narcissist.
Absolutely. So it's crucial to get them involved early, listen to their feedback, and address those concerns. Really address them,
So it's shared ownership, not just like following orders.
Exactly. And that ties right back into building a strong team.
Right. You can't do it alone.
You can't do it alone. You need to have people around you.
Yeah.
People who challenge you to be better, who bring different views to the table, and who really believe in that shared vision.
Yeah.
Remember Machiavelli's advice from developing the leader within you? He said, the first way to judge a ruler's intelligence is to look at the men he keeps around him.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, so building a strong team is absolutely essential for leading change effectively.
It's like, we need those people to support us,
yeah,
challenge us, help us navigate all those bumps in the road.
The bumps are coming.
Oh, they're coming, yeah.
And we also need to understand the role of friction.
Friction
in this whole process.
Isn't that usually like a bad thing?
It can be.
Okay.
But Robert Sutton and Huggy Rao, in their book, The Friction Project, they say sometimes a little friction can be a good thing.
Really?
Yeah, it can push you in the right direction to drive innovation. Get that creativity flowing, like that Stockholm metro station experiment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for how to change.
Where they made the stairs into a piano.
A giant piano.
A giant piano.
Yeah.
People wanted to take the stairs.
Right.
66% more people took the stairs.
Because it was fun.
Because it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made the healthy choice fun.
Exactly. They nudged people.
It's a nudge.
Towards a better choice.
I love that.
It's a good one. And similarly, in business, a little competition can be good.
Yeah.
And spark those breakthroughs.
Okay.
As long as it's, done the right way.
Right. Healthy competition.
Healthy competition.
Not cutthroat.
Exactly.
All right.
So, yeah.
So what does this all mean?
Yeah.
For those of us leading change.
Yeah.
In our workplaces.
It means leading with values.
Okay, values.
Values, yeah.
We hear that a lot.
We do, but as Jack Welch says, values are just behaviors. They need to be clear. They need to be actionable. You need to see them.
Yeah.
Reflected in everything that's done.
Everything we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And we need to build a culture of continuous learning and improvement.
Like Welch did at GE.
Yeah, like Welch did at GE with his hugs and kicks approach.
Hugs and kicks.
That's in kicks.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe most importantly, it's about building a strong team.
Okay.
Yeah, surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better.
Good people.
Good people. Yeah. Remember Machiavelli's advice? He said, the first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him.
It's all about the people.
It is all about the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to delegate.
Delegate, yeah.
Empower others.
Empower others, absolutely.
And not be afraid to ask for help.
Ask for help. And then finally, remember the power of stories.
Yeah, those human connections.
To connect with people, know, on an emotional level.
Make them feel it.
Yeah, like Arthur C. Brooks notes in Love Your Enemies, 10 million is a statistic, one person is a story.
Ooh, chills. Powerful.
So when we share our own experiences with change, the good and the bad, the triumphs and the struggles, we're creating a sense of shared humanity.
Yeah.
That can really inspire and motivate others.
To embrace the journey.
To embrace the journey, yeah.
So what does this mean for, for me, for anyone listening? I hope this whole deep dive has given you like some food for thought as you're going through these changes.
As you navigate the changes.
In your own life.
Yeah.
At work.
Because they're coming.
Oh, they're coming.
Yeah, change isn't something to be afraid of, right?
Right.
It's an opportunity.
To learn.
To learn, to grow.
To grow.
Become a more resilient leader.
Yeah.
A more effective leader.
Here's a thought.
Okay.
What if, instead of trying to like predict the future, control it, we just focused on like building the skills, the relationships that help us thrive no matter what comes.
That's powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
No matter what's thrown at us.
I like that.
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good place to leave it for today.
All right. Sounds good. So we were just talking about, those tips for success, right? For organizations.
Yeah.
Well, let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
How do these principles work for, like us on a personal level?
All right, let's get personal.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean to be like a change leader in our own lives,
Yeah.
Even if we're like not the CEO or something.
Right. It starts with this idea that we can all change, we can all grow.
Yeah.
But like we saw in the sources, it's not about forcing ourselves to be someone we're not.
Yeah.
It's about tapping into that hidden potential.
Hidden potential. Reminds me of R.A. Dickey.
Oh, yeah.
Knuckleball pitcher.
From Hidden Potential.
From Adam Grant's Hidden Potential.
Yeah.
Toiled in the minors forever.
Years.
Yeah.
Before he made it.
Before he made it big.
Yeah. His story is a great example of persistence.
Okay.
Trusting the process.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Imagine, like, the self-doubt.
Oh, yeah.
The setbacks.
The temptation to quit.
Wanting to just give up.
Yeah.
But he just kept at it.
He kept going.
He honed his craft. And, ultimately, he won a Cy Young.
He won a Cy Young.
He did.
So, like, what's the takeaway for someone who's, like, maybe they're in their own minor leagues?
Yeah, yeah.
What can they learn from that?
That I think it's recognizing that, like, those big successes, those overnight successes, they're often the result of years.
Okay.
Of smaller wins.
Small wins.
Even if nobody sees them.
Yeah.
It's about, embracing the journey.
Embrace the journey.
Even when you're not sure where it's going.
Even when it's like scary, foggy.
Foggy, yeah. So patience, perseverance, those are key. But you also need the right mindset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which takes us to Carol Dweck.
Yes.
Growth mindset.
Growth mindset.
Isla Fishback talks about it in Get It Done.
Yeah.
This idea that like our abilities, they're not fixed.
They're not fixed.
We can develop them.
We can grow. Yeah.
With effort.
Absolutely.
Learning.
Yeah. So when we believe that our abilities are fixed, we give up easier.
Easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets hard. We're like,
nope, I'm out. But with the growth mindset, we see challenges as like a chance to learn.
A chance to get better.
To get better, yeah.
Okay.
We become more resilient. We become more successful.
So how do we get that growth mindset?
Are we born with it?
Are we born with it, or can we like build it?
So some people are naturally inclined that way.
Okay.
But the good news is it's a skill.
Okay.
You can build it.
All right. I like that.
Yeah, and it starts with like noticing how you talk to yourself.
Self-talk, yeah.
Self-talk. Are you telling yourself you're not good enough?
Yeah.
Or are you embracing the challenge?
Okay.
Seeing it as a way to grow.
It's like changing the script.
Yeah, change the script.
In our heads.
Instead of saying, I'm terrible at this, you say, I'm learning. I'm getting better.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a practice, right?
It's a practice. And it's also about who you surround yourself with.
The people.
Yeah.
Okay.
People who support your growth, challenge you, and celebrate your wins.
Celebrate the wins, yeah.
Yeah. It makes me think about building a good network.
A good network.
Yeah, personally and professionally.
Yeah, that's huge.
It is.
The people we're around.
Yeah, the people you're around, they have a huge impact on your mindset.
Your whole outlook.
Yeah. And how well you handle change.
Absolutely.
David Hare wrote in The Buddha in Me, The Buddha in You, where ego-driven anger separates us by focusing on what makes us different, compassion focuses on our shared humanity.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it's like Finding those people who lift us up.
Yeah, who lift you up.
Who share those, like, values of learning and growth.
Values, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, another key thing, when you're leading change, both personally and, at work, is knowing the difference between maximizing and satisficing.
Maximizing and satisfying.
Yeah.
Okay, break that down.
Okay, so maximizing is like you always want the best.
Okay.
The absolute best.
Best.
In every situation.
In every situation.
You're looking for the optimal solution.
The perfect outcome.
The perfect outcome.
Okay.
And that can be good, sometimes, but it can also lead to, like, analysis paralysis.
Oh, yeah.
You overthink it.
Overthink it, yeah.
And you're afraid to make a mistake.
Make a mistake.
Yeah, so it's about finding that sweet spot between, wanting to do your best and not getting bogged down by perfectionism.
That's being perfect, yeah.
And that's where satisficing comes in.
Satisficing, okay.
Satisficing is, it's from Adam Alter's Anatomy of a Breakthrough.
Okay.
And it's basically you find a solution that's good enough.
Good enough?
Good enough.
Not the best.
Not the best, not perfect.
Good enough.
Just a good enough.
I like that.
Yeah, and that can be really helpful.
Okay.
When you're dealing with a lot of change.
Yeah, when things are uncertain.
Things are uncertain. Yeah. It lets you move faster.
Okay.
And you don't get stuck.
Stuck in the weeds.
Stuck, yeah.
Overthinking.
Overthinking it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do we know when to do which?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on what's going on. If you're making a big decision, that's going to have, like, long-term effects, like picking a career, buying a house.
Yeah.
Then, you might want to maximize.
Take your time.
Take your time, really think it through.
Okay.
But if it's like an everyday thing, like what's for lunch?
What am I wearing?
Yeah, what are you wearing? It's just satisfies.
Satisfies, yeah. Okay, so like...
It's about being smart about.
Being aware of like the situation.
Yeah, what are the stakes?
The stakes,
and what approach makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, another important part of leading change effectively is understanding subtraction. Subtraction.
Okay.
So we often think about change as adding stuff.
Right, like more.
More initiatives, more processes, more technology.
Yeah, new stuff.
But Robert Sutton and Huggy Rao in the Friction Project, they make this argument that sometimes the best way to change is to subtract.
To take things away. Instead of adding.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They call it addition sickness.
Addition sickness,
yeah.
Okay.
It's that, that urge to just keep piling on more, even when it's not helping.
More.
Yeah, more.
Doesn't always equal better.
Not always, and they use the example of GM.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the 2000s.
Okay.
They were just churning out model.
Model after model.
Feature after feature.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really, making a difference for the customer.
They were so focused on doing more.
They were just doing more.
Yeah.
And they lost sight of what mattered.
What actually mattered, yeah.
And this can happen to us, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we get so caught up in the busy.
Yeah, the busyness.
Of
life.
Yeah, always adding more to our to-do list.
The to-do list never ends.
Never ends.
Okay, so how do we apply this?
Yeah.
This subtraction thing.
So it starts with figuring out what's draining you.
It's draining you.
Yeah, what's taking your energy, your time, attention.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's commitments you don't care about anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe it's tasks you could give to someone else.
Delegate.
Okay. Or maybe it's just like habits. Yeah, that aren't serving you.
That aren't good for you.
Yeah, it's like decluttering. But for your life.
Okay.
Not just your stuff.
Right, like your mental space, too.
Mental space, yeah. So by getting rid of the things that don't matter, you make room for what does.
For what matters.
What matters, yeah.
This makes me think of, like, prioritizing.
Yes.
Focusing on the important goals.
Absolutely. And that connects with strategic quitting.
Strategic quitting. Okay.
Yeah, it's in Annie Duke's book, Quit.
Okay.
And it's not about giving up on your dreams.
Right.
It's about knowing when to walk away.
Okay.
When something's not working.
Yeah, when it's not serving you.
And it's not serving you, yeah. So you can, pursue something better.
Something better, yeah.
Yeah.
She talks about that entrepreneur,
yeah.
Andrew Wilkinson, right?
Yeah.
Poured millions into his startup.
Millions.
Even though it was like,
yeah,
clearly not working.
It was going nowhere.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't quit.
He couldn't quit.
Wow. Yeah. It's a good reminder that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is cut your losses.
It's your losses.
And move on.
So it's about honesty.
Yeah.
With ourselves, right?
With yourself.
About what's working.
What's not working.
Yeah. And having the guts to make those hard choices.
To make the tough calls, yeah. Yeah. And it's also about realizing that quitting doesn't mean failure.
Right. Doesn't equal failure.
It just means just shifting gears.
Yeah. Putting your energy towards something better.
Something that's a better fit.
Yeah.
It's empowering.
It is empowering.
Yeah.
It takes the sting out of it.
It does. It does. And then another key aspect of leader change is communication.
Communication. Okay, we've talked about that.
We've talked about it.
But I want to hear more.
Okay.
What are some, like, actual strategies?
All right, so one principle, a big one, is to be real.
Be real.
Be authentic in your communication.
So no sugarcoating.
No sugarcoating.
No hiding the truth.
No hiding. Be honest.
Okay.
People know when you're not being straight with them.
Yeah.
And it just breaks down trust.
Breaks down trust, yeah.
You've got to be honest about the challenges, the risks, what could happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, be upfront.
Be upfront.
Be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable.
Even when it's hard.
Even when it's tough.
Yeah. Okay. And keep it simple.
Simple.
Yeah, no jargon.
No buzzwords.
No buzzwords.
Okay.
Plain language.
Plain language.
That everyone gets.
Everyone understands.
Yeah.
Okay.
And repeat, repeat, repeat.
Repeat, repeat.
Use different ways to get the message out.
Different channels.
Different channels.
Different people.
Yeah, different people to reach everyone.
It's like that old saying, tell them what you're going to tell them.
Yeah.
Tell them. Then tell them what you told them.
Exactly. Repetition, repetition, repetition.
Repetition.
When it comes to communicating change, that's key.
Okay.
And you got to be ready to answer questions.
Right. So it's not just announce it and walk away.
No.
Okay.
You got to be there for people.
Okay.
Let them ask. Let them give feedback. Let them get clarity.
Two-way street.
Two-way street. Exactly. So, yeah, have town hall meetings, set up online forums, or just be available to chat one-on-one.
Be present.
Be present.
Yeah.
And don't forget the why.
The why.
The why.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about
connecting it to a bigger purpose.
A bigger purpose, yeah. But there are other ways to, like, emphasize the why.
Okay.
You can use stories.
Stories.
Examples to show how the change is making a difference.
Make it real.
Make it real.
Relatable.
Relatable, yeah. So, like, if you're doing a new customer service thing, you could tell a story about how it led to a happy customer.
A good outcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're connecting the change to everyday life.
Everyday life.
Yeah. You make it real for people.
Okay, so make it real.
Make it real. And talk about the benefits.
The benefits, yeah.
Yeah, for everyone.
The individual.
The individual, the organization, the whole shebang.
Paint that picture, right.
Paint that picture.
Of a better future.
Yeah. Show them how this change is going to help them reach their goals.
Help them get where they want to go.
Exactly. Now, besides being transparent, authentic, clear, and responsive, you also got to be patient.
Patient.
Patient and persistent.
Persistent.
In your communication.
It doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't. Right. It takes time for people to process.
Yeah, they got to, like, wrap their heads around it.
Wrap their heads around it.
Get used to it.
Yeah, and come on board.
So you got to be consistent.
Consistent.
Even when you're, like, repeating yourself.
Yeah. Even when it feels like you're saying the same thing over and over.
Over and over.
Over and over.
Okay.
And you might need to switch up your style.
Okay.
Depending on who you're talking to.
Not one size fits all.
No, not one size fits all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, different groups.
Different groups, yeah.
Different approaches.
Yeah. Depending on, like, how much they understand.
Okay.
What their worries are.
Yeah.
What their role is in the whole thing.
It's about, like, empathy, right?
Empathy.
Active listening.
Yeah.
To communicate change, well, you got to understand your audience and speak their language.
Speak their language. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about, plan change, but what about, like, when it's sprung on us?
Oh, yeah. Unexpected.
Unexpected change.
How do we deal with that?
That's a great question.
Yeah?
Because it happens to all of us.
It does.
At some point.
Job loss.
Job loss.
Health crisis.
Health crisis.
A pandemic.
Pandemic. Who knew?
Yeah.
It can be really tough.
It can be really tough.
Yeah.
It can feel like, the rug's been pulled out.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in those moments, it's natural to feel all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
Feared, anxiety.
Anger, confusion.
Confusion.
The whole gamut.
The whole gamut. Okay, so what do we do?
So the key is to, like, just acknowledge those feelings.
Okay.
Let yourself feel them.
Don't bottle it up.
Don't bottle it up.
Okay.
Pretend you're fine.
No pretending.
No pretending. Okay. Be honest with yourself about how you're feeling.
Okay.
And reach out for help.
Yeah, get support.
If you need it.
Okay.
This is where self-care comes in.
Self-care, yeah. That's so important.
It's so important.
Especially when things are like...
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
Stressful.
Stressful. When you're going through a big change, you got to take care of yourself.
Okay.
Body, mind, and spirit.
Body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah. So what are some, like, practical things you can do?
Okay, yeah, like, how do we do that?
So one of the most important things is focus on what you can control.
What I can control.
Yeah, because in the middle of all that chaos, you can feel... powerless.
Powerless, yeah.
Like you've got no control.
The point.
Yeah. So find those little things where you can make a difference.
Where I can make a difference.
Even if you can't control the big picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's making a routine. Maybe it's setting small goals. Maybe it's just taking care of your basic needs.
Just the basics.
The basics, yeah. It's about Finding some stability.
Stability in the storm, yeah. Another good tip, embrace perspective.
Perspective.
Perspectives.
Okay. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
It means remembering even when things are tough, there's always something to be thankful for.
To be grateful for.
Yeah. It's not about pretending everything's perfect.
Right.
It's about choosing to focus on the good stuff.
Okay.
Even if it's small.
Even if it's small, yeah.
Yeah, so you're shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance.
Abundance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also about realizing that even tough times can be opportunities to learn and grow.
This makes me think of, like, post-traumatic growth.
Yeah.
People who've been through something really hard, they come out stronger.
They come out stronger.
Yeah.
Now, we don't want to downplay the pain.
Right.
But it's important to remember, even in the dark times, there's potential.
There's potential for transformation.
So it's like we can choose to see the challenge as an opportunity.
An opportunity, not just a setback.
Not a setback, yeah. And believe in yourself. Believe in your ability to adapt.
To adapt and overcome.
To overcome.
Yeah.
And that's resilience.
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 Okay.
And it's key for dealing with unexpected change.
So how do we build it?
So resilience is something we're born with.
Are we born resilient, or can we, like...
So some people are naturally more resilient.
Okay.
But the good news is you can learn it.
Okay.
You can strengthen it over time.
Okay, so what are, like, some tips for building resilience?
So one important thing is to build a strong support network. People, when you're facing challenges, you need people you can turn to.
People you can turn to.
For support.
For support.
Encouragement. Guidance.
So build those relationships now.
Build them before you need them.
Before you need them.
It's much easier to ask for help when you already have those connections.
Yeah, okay.
And you got to take care of yourself.
Self-care.
Self-care, body, mind, and spirit.
Okay, so, like, what does that actually look like?
It means making sure you're getting enough sleep.
Okay, sleep.
Eating good food.
Okay, healthy food. So we were talking about, unexpected change and resilience and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like change really is like a journey.
It is.
Not just like a destination.
Not a destination.
It's about, like, changing how we see things, right?
It is. We have to shift away from seeing change as something scary.
Yeah. And
start seeing it as a chance to grow.
Okay.
To innovate, to be brave, and step outside our comfort zone.
As speaking of comfort zones, one thing that really stuck with me from Jim Lohr's The Only Way to Win is this idea that, like, being truly happy doesn't come from just, like, achievements.
Right.
External stuff.
He talks about destination disease.
Destination disease.
Yeah. It's this belief that we'll be happy when we get that thing.
Oh, yeah?
When we reach that goal.
When we get the promotion.
Yeah.
When we buy the house.
But then, the goalposts just keep moving.
They keep moving.
Yeah.
It's like those super achievers he talks about.
Yeah.
They sacrifice everything.
Their health, their relationship.
Yeah, their well-being.
Just chasing success.
Yeah.
And then they end up feeling empty.
Empty, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfulfilled.
It's a warning, right?
Yeah.
It shows how important it is to make sure your goals match your values.
Okay.
To make sure you're not getting success at the cost of, your well-being or the people around you.
It's like finding that balance, right? Between, like, aiming high, but also, like, inner peace.
Inner peace.
Contentment.
Yeah. And that journey, it looks different for everyone.
It's personal.
It's personal, and there's no magic formula for happiness or fulfillment.
It's about, like, figuring out
Yeah.
what actually matters to you.
What matters to you.
Yeah.
And then, making choices that fit that.
Okay.
This reminds me of The Earned Life from Marshall Goldsmith's book.
Earned Life, yeah.
Yeah, it's about living a life that matches your values. A life where you have fewer regrets. And more fulfillment.
For fulfillment.
And that takes intention,
Intention.
Making choices that line up with your values, even when it's tough.
Even when it's hard, yeah.
Yeah, even when people don't agree.
It's about, like, taking ownership.
Yes.
Of our own lives.
Yes,
right?
Writing your own story.
Writing your own story.
Not just reacting to what happens.
That's powerful.
It is.
It's not always easy, though.
It's not easy, especially with all the messages we get.
Right.
Telling us to do more.
More.
Be more.
Yeah, achieve more.
Our culture is all about busyness.
Yeah.
And achievement.
It's
easy to get caught up in that.
It is. What if we, like, chose a different path? What if we focused on a life that's meaningful? Purposeful. Even if it means, like, letting go of some of those external
those markers of success. Yeah.
The markers of success.
I think that's a powerful idea.
Yeah.
And more people are doing it.
They are.
It's about deciding what success means to you.
Yeah.
Not letting society tell you.
Right.
And it can be really freeing.
It can be.
Yeah.
Okay, so We've talked a lot about values.
We have.
Leading with values.
Leading with values.
But what does that actually look like?
Yeah.
Especially when things are changing.
So that means knowing what you believe in.
Okay.
And making sure your actions show it.
Walking the walk.
Walking the walk, yeah.
Okay.
And that takes looking inward.
Okay.
Being honest with yourself about where you're messing up.
Yeah.
And then fixing it.
So it's about integrity.
Integrity, yeah.
Making sure our actions match our words.
Even when it's hard.
Even when it's hard. And that's like super important.
It is.
When things are changing. Right?
Yeah, it's easy to get swept up in the moment.
Yep.
And forget what you stand for.
Forget what you stand for.
Yeah. Think about the story of Xenophytes in the Friction Project.
Oh, yeah?
They were all about speed.
Yeah, move fast.
Move fast, break things.
Break things.
But they ended up cutting corners.
Yeah.
Ethically.
Yeah.
And the company crashed and burned.
It's a good reminder.
It is.
Moving fast is only good.
Yeah.
If you're moving in the right direction.
The right direction. And you're sticking to your values.
Sticking to your values.
Yeah.
So it's like we need a moral compass.
A moral compass.
To guide us.
Yeah, especially when things are tough.
Okay, so values are important, but what about, like, purpose?
Purpose.
Yeah.
Purpose.
How does that help us deal with change?
When you connect what you do to something bigger.
Okay.
Something that inspires you.
Yeah.
Something that inspires the people around you. You tap into this, like, deep well of motivation.
Okay.
It's not about the short-term wins anymore.
Right, it's bigger than that.
It's bigger than that. It's like that line from your roadmap for success, any dream worth living is worth sharing with others.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Your purpose becomes like your guiding star.
Guiding star.
Yeah. Keeps you focused.
Okay.
Keeps you going, even when you're not sure where you're going.
Even when it's foggy.
Yeah. It's about finding that one thing.
The one thing.
That drives you, that gives your work meaning.
Meaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a journey, you know?
Yeah.
Figuring out your purpose. It's different for everyone.
There's no, like, step-by-step guide.
No, there's no step-by-step guide.
It's about exploring.
Exploring. Trying things out.
Experimenting.
Experimenting. And being open to new things.
Being open to new things, yeah.
And, you know, it's often through those experiments.
Yeah.
Through the failures.
The failures.
That you figure out what really matters.
What really matters.
Yeah. Like Henry Ford said, in your roadmap for success, failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently.
Begin again more intelligently.
Yeah, failure isn't the opposite of success.
Okay.
It's part of how you get there.
It's part of the process.
Part of the process.
We need to remember that.
We do, personally, and in our organizations.
It's about, like, creating a culture where it's safe to take chances.
Yes. Safe to experiment.
Yeah.
Safe to learn from your mistakes.
Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah. Like those rituals Sutton and Rao talk about in the Friction Project.
Oh, yeah, the rituals.
The All Blacks sweeping the shed after every practice.
Yeah.
The Roach executives having a lunch at the end of every project.
Okay.
Even if it failed.
Even if it failed.
It's about building that humility.
Humility.
Yeah, and that idea of always improving.
Continuous improvement.
Continuous improvement, where messing up isn't something to be ashamed of.
Right. It's not about blame.
It's not about blame. It's about, okay, what did we learn?
What did we learn?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about creating a space where people feel safe to try new things, to innovate, to grow.
To grow.
That's where the real breakthroughs happen.
The breakthroughs, yeah.
That's where change becomes exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah. Not just something you have to do.
Right.
It's a chance for everyone to grow and change together.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm feeling like challenged, but also optimistic.
Optimistic.
Leading through change. It's tough.
It is tough, but it's also so rewarding.
It is.
It's about using our best human qualities, you know?
Okay.
Creativity, resilience, connection.
Yeah.
To make a better future.
To make a better future.
Yeah.
And that's a journey I want to be on.
Me too.
Even if it's, you know, a little bumpy sometimes.
There will be bumps.
Bumps.
But the rewards are worth it.
They are. So here's a final thought for everyone listening.
Okay.
What if, instead of trying to predict the future, control the future?
Yeah.
We focused on building the skills, the relationships, the mindset that let us thrive no matter what.
Ooh, that's good.
Right?
Yeah, what if?
No matter what challenge, what opportunity comes up.
I think that's a question we'll all be asking in the years to come.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too.
It's an exciting time to be alive.
It is, to be part of shaping the future.
And that's what makes leading through change not just hard, but like an honor.
An honor, yeah. It's a privilege to be part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And to help create a better future for everyone.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
I always learn so much from these conversations.
Me too. Always a good time.
And to you, our listener, thank you for being here. We hope you've gotten some good ideas, some inspiration to deal with the changes in your own life and work.
Yeah.
Remember, change is going to happen.
It is.
But growing from it, that's up to you.
It is.
Choose wisely. Choose to thrive.
Okay.